we were in an executive session for personnel. Upon returning, before we adopt the agenda, we have some amendments to make, Mr. Davis.
Yes, okay, thank you, Mr. President. So, moving on the agenda.
Jeremy, we can't hear you. I don't think they can hear you out there.
On the agenda, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. On the agenda, Personnel Committee, we will move first to item T, and I'll just read the motion as it will be stated. A motion to appoint Keith Wellington to Human Resource Generalist and Payroll in accordance with the Act 93 agreement, and starting salary is $50,000. Under item U, it'll be a motion to create an elementary office clerk position. Item V, as it states, a motion to hire Jamie Gammon as K through 12 assistant principal / cyber coordinator and transportation director in accordance with the Act 93 contract at $83,000. And double A, although it was stated earlier, we'll state it again, it's going to be a motion to create 2 full-time security positions. And under Athletic Committee, item F, it will be a motion to terminate the high school head football coach. Those are the changes to the agenda.
Question, Mr. Davis, just on item V, is the word district in there? I thought we left with the.
Yeah, you said that.
Did you say district?
Yeah, he said that.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I read it. Yep.
All right, thank you. And at this time, I'll open it up for public comment for any of those, anybody wishing to comment on any of those changes to the agenda. Nobody? Okay. Then we'll move on. Item 4, this time I'll take a motion to approve the agenda and related materials for incorporation into the minutes. Motion and a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 5, I'll entertain a motion to approve the July 16th and August 12th board minutes.
So moved.
Motion and second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, Ms. Clement.
I move to approve the September General Fund, Capital Fund, Title I and Title IIA, 2D, Cafeteria Fund, and Treasurer Financial Reports.
I have a motion. And a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, I'll entertain a motion to approve the following funds listed there.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Wake him up.
Yes, I cannot hear Jody at all. If she could get a mic, that would be fabulous.
What do you say?
Yes.
Thank you. Education, Mr. Dorsey.
Okay, item A, I move to approve the elementary school, middle school, and high school department heads list for the 24-25 school year.
I have a motion and a second. Questions? Roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item B, I move to approve the middle school and high school clubs or activities list for the 24-25 school year.
I have that motion.
Second.
Second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item C, I move to approve ESL agreement with Intermediate Unit 1 and Brownsville Area School District for the 24-25 school year.
I have that motion.
Second.
Second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
D, I move to approve the special education handbook.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item E, I move to approve all ATSI plans.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item F, I move to approve the quote from Ed Insight for student performance suite in the amount of $18,524.48. That is being paid through ESSER money.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Okay, G, I move to approve the quote from EduLink for PAET-EP in the amount of $5,025. ESSER money on this one also.
Second.
Have that motion and second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Item H, I'd like to make a motion to purchase 4 additional gaming computers from the eSports Company in the amount of $1,750 per set, and the total for the 4 sets would cost $7,000. That's being paid out of perennial project funds.
Have that motion?
Second.
Second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
No.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Okay, 8-1.
Item I move to approve the Intermediate Unit 1 to provide the district's title services for non-public schools for the 24-25 school year. And listed under here is Title I for St. John's, $15,015. Title II, Calvary Chapel Christian School, $23,973.75. Title IV, Calvary Chapel Christian School, $30,998.
Have that motion? Second. Second, questions?
This is to pay for our children that's in those schools?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Okay, item J, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the quote from Teamology for teacher curriculum in the amount of $1,500 paid by ESSER money.
I need a motion. So moved. Second, anybody?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
No.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
No.
Mr. Gammon?
No.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
5-4.
5-4.
Okay.
Okay, item K. I move to approve the proposal from Securely Deal Room for Flex Core subscription in the amount of $3,420, and that's being paid by ESSER money.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Second, questions? Roll call.
Question.
Go ahead, hold on.
Yeah, so this is tied to the scheduling of when, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
just-
the motion we
I'm-
added Monday.
They needed it today and didn't have access because our access was cut short when we canceled the hall pass.
I'm gonna vote no, just to give you guys a heads up. I think when is, we are spending way too much time on when. I think when should be reduced to maybe once a semester or once a month, and we can use some other alternative means for scheduling that instead of trying to do this 2 and 3 times a week. I think it is taking away valuable training time from our teachers, teaching time from our teachers, and I seriously think we need to take a look at the WIN program overall, as it's taking valuable education time away from our teachers. I will vote no. I yield, Mr. President.
Thank you. Are you in favor for this, Dr. Martin? I mean,
Most districts do. The WIN program is designed for what a student needs,
what I need is what it stands for. So it is supposed to be set up and designed for remediation, for enrichment, and then for an activity of enjoyment, and with the hopes that a child would want to come to school, that attendance would improve, that relationships would improve with the activity period piece of it. The remediation speaks for itself, and then the enrichment does. We have students who just lack that enrichment piece because we're teaching to the middle, or we're teaching to a different area, and we're not hitting those kids and advancing them any further. So that's the goal. Maybe it's the structure that needs worked out a little better amongst the administrative staff. I know it's called different things in different districts. It's Falcon Time in Connellsville, but it exists in most of our county districts. And I think maybe it's the structure of the way it's rolled out that really is what needs handled at the moment.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Yes,
Second?
and then a second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
No.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
After hearing some of this discussion, and, you know, this was put on the agenda the other night fairly quickly, you know, maybe this is something we need to discuss as a board more, so for now, I'm gonna vote no.
Mr. Gammon?
He dropped.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry, no.
Mr.
Turn my
Gates?
mic off, I was
Yes.
coughing.
Dr. Mahalik?
And I do agree that we need to look into this, but so that there isn't a gap in services, I'm gonna vote yes.
Mrs. Zupic?
Five.
5-4.
Pass. Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. Personnel, Mr. Gates?
All right, A, I make a motion to accept the letter of retirement from Gerald Stajeson. She's a part-time educator effective August 27th, 2024.
Second.
Somebody second?
Yeah.
Motion and second. Questions?
Yeah, I'd like to thank her for her time that she spent with our district and the great job that she's done.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, I'm gonna do B, C, D, E, F, G,
And H.
together, but I'll read the names. These are all for resignations as either paraprofessionals or security guards. And one is an art teacher. It would be for Renee Fertile, Stephanie Kishel, Barbara Uhas, Ashley Jones, Christina Galway, Tricia Griffin, and Colleen Kavanaugh.
I have a motion. And the second. Questions?
I'd just like to make a comment. With all of these resignations, I had a problem with how a couple of them were handled by the people that are resigning. And in no means do I mean all these people, because I understand why some people did, but there were a couple people that had a little bit of disrespect to it. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, I make a motion to accept the request from Carol Wilson for a leave of absence for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, Jay, I make a motion to approve the request from Arthur Scott Ruby for an extension and renewal of his 2023-24 unpaid leave for the 24-25 school year.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, Kay, make a motion to add the following names to the professional substitute list: Sarah Jeffries, Kara Kukovic, Samantha Horner, Romaine Yandora, and Laura Kiefer.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right,
Motion
L,
carries.
make a motion to add the following names to the support staff list: Jody Ross, Tyler Evans, Sakia Chu, Candy Cintron, Alexa Neal, Michaela Strickler, Todd King, Tammy Nichols, April Ayers, Christina Ridgeland, and Brandy Shaw.
I have that motion. Do I have a
Second.
second? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, then I'm gonna take M through R. They're all paraprofessionals that we are hiring, according to the SEIU contract. I'll just read their names as they go down. Rebecca Kisner, Caitlin Sturbutzel, Samantha King, Jody Ross, Alexa Neal, and Michaela Strickler.
Second.
I have that motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
All right, I make a motion to hire Sandy Jones as a 2-hour elementary school cafeteria cook for the Brownsville Area School District in accordance with the SEIU contract.
Second.
A motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
T, make a motion to appoint Keith Wellington to the Human Resource Generalist payroll in accordance with the Act 93 agreement for $50,000.
Second.
Motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Can I make a motion to create an elementary office clerk position?
Second.
Motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Really
Yes.
hard to hear, Trev. I apologize.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
All right, V, I make a motion to hire Jamie Gammon as a K-12 assistant principal, district cyber coordinator, and transportation director in accordance with the Act 93 contract at $83,000.
Second.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Oh, I'm abstaining, obviously.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
All right, I make a motion to hire Emily Dixon as a elementary teaching position in accordance with the BEA contract, step 1, $39,420.
Second.
Motion second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Make a motion to hire Brittany Pollock as a middle school LEA teacher in accordance with the BEA contract, step 1, $39,420.
Second. A motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Make a motion to hire Star Yeager as a middle school art teacher in accordance with the BEA contract on step 1, $39,420.
Second. A motion and second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Make a motion to extend the current grass cutter custodial position to 12 months and eliminate the second grass cutter.
Second.
A motion and a second. Questions? Good night. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right. AA, I make a motion to create 2 full-time security positions.
Second.
A motion and a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
BB, I make a motion to approve Dr. Nicholson to attend the Patent Fellowship Program training in Gettysburg on September 24th and 25th, 2024, not to exceed $500.
Second. A motion and a second. Questions? Roll call?
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Make a motion to approve Dr. Martin to attend the superintendent's retreat in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, October 20th to the 22nd, at no cost to the district.
Second.
Motion, second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, DD, I make a motion to create a 9-month para-educator position for an outside district placement, which would be our person going with our student at,
Eagles, I think.
McMurray, correct, thank you.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. Question?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just a question, Mr.
Aye.
President.
Yo.
Just a comment, I want to thank Josh Pico for his time traveling to Pittsburgh every day, doing that thing, and it wasn't an easy thing, but he stepped in, and thank you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Josh.
Good job, Josh.
Also, I have a question. And when we do a motion and it comes down and it says no cost to the district, does that mean, we pay mileage or don't pay mileage? And should it say in the motion when we have something like that, that we are paying that?
That individual, and I could let Dr. Nicholson speak on this, will be on the transportation piece. There wouldn't be mileage because that person will be on the bus with the student, on the van.
How about item CC?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I thought you were talking.
No. No, it's just, because
Yeah,
the
I-
wording. 'Cause
Yeah.
We've always had there at no cost to the district, then
But you get the
later on
mileage.
you see mileage in there, and Jeremy, should we say that we will pay mileage?
Well, and also, Mr. Dorsey, to your point, if a,
Yeah, mileage.
or if a teacher was out and we had to fill with a
For a
substitute or
substitute,
something.
yes.
Yeah, I think that wording is a little misleading.
So,
But
so
it-
going forward, maybe we should keep that in mind. when we put things on.
And also with this one, I'm not sure who's paying for it or where it comes from. Possibly would they pay for your mileage?
The IU, that's the IU,
Yes.
maybe.
Because I don't know what grant it's coming from or from where it is. So that may be picked up with that. On some of those, it might be, Andy, but not all.
Yeah,
And that's a good point, though, I agree with you.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Gates. Finance, Ms. Columbia.
I move to, well, item A. Item A, I move to approve dismissing the delinquent taxes on the following parcels for Redstone, and those parcel numbers are listed.
Second.
Have that motion and a second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark? Yes. Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Item B, I move to approve the requests from disabled veterans real property tax exemption certifications.
Second.
Have that motion and second. Questions? Roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Get myself rolling into myself. Right. All in favor, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Item C, I move to purchase 1,500 Google Chrome education licenses at a cost of $46,500, which are ESSER funds that have been set aside.
Second.
Have motion and a second. Questions? Now we can do roll call. Go ahead, roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Do we have to? Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
This is all on you, Mr. Bashir.
Yes.
I tried to do that before you called. for
Mr.
roll.
Delarose?
mean, on this,
Oh, okay, yes.
I'm talking about this
Oh,
motion,
okay.
we're spending $46,000, I mean, I know I have to vote
No, no.
for it, but I don't, I just want to say, do I have to? That's all.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes, and that is ESSER money paying for that.
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Thank you, Ms. Columbia.
Under finance, and can we get an update? Hate to do this to you since you're new, but can we get an update on how much ESSER money we've spent and how much is still available? Not right now.
Beware how you answer.
Don't have a heart attack.
He's ready to
I
start
don't mean right
calculating.
now.
Are done at the end of the month, so all the
Okay.
spending has to be complete by the end of September. I think that's why we're trying to rush to get all these.
Right.
Yeah. Because I didn't know how much more, if we were gonna be stuck with any that we didn't spend, I know we spent a lot.
Buildings and grounds, Mr. Gammon, do you want me to do it, or you?
Yep, no, I got you, I'm ready, can you hear me? Yeah, hey, so real quick on that, just for the board update, paving tomorrow, God willing, I don't know what the weather is like there, it's raining like crazy here in DC, but weather's supposed to be, if it's good, they will pave Redstone tomorrow, be ready for Friday night football. Motion to approve the proposal from Hackenstern Mechanical Services LLC for the replacement of the isolation valves and balance valves for 47 fan coil units at the high school, middle school in the amount of $166,124.
Second.
That motion and second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Item B, a motion for luxury detailing for deep cleaning of the bleachers at Redstone Field in the amount of $2,900. And if this is approved, that will occur on Friday also before the football game.
Second.
Have that motion and second, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Thank you, Mr. Gammon. Policy Committee, Dr. Mahalik.
Thank you. Or Dr. Bob's fine, I guess, minus the weight loss piece. Okay, a motion to add a new board committee, the Student Wellness Committee.
Second.
A motion and second, questions?
Question, the only question I have is, could we possibly get emailed to us at your leisure, exactly how this committee, everything is gonna come? An overview of this.
And Dr. Mahalik, will you work with me on that
Yes.
since you will be?
Absolutely. And kind of the reason for,
We've discussed some of it.
right, and the reason for this, Mr. Dorsey, too, is a lot of these issues, mental health, bullying, a lot of it was falling under education,
Yeah.
which I just didn't know if that's the right spot for it. And as we all know that mental health issues are a huge concern, and so is bullying, and many other issues. So this just isn't, this could even be nutrition, whatever we decide is wellness, and I really want to take a holistic approach. So yes, I will work with you, Dr. Martin, on that.
I know prior to you getting on the board in the past few years, the board has worked pretty hard trying to get more mental health programs into the district and try to address that because it all works together with the bullying, how
Right.
it affects the child, the anxiety, and all that stuff. So we've started that, and I think this is a good idea to get this committee going so we can, specialize more on it.
Right, thank you. And I know Mr. Brashear had some issues with some of the contracts that we have that's dealing with, and as we all did, actually, for the mental health piece. And I've started to reach out to some other organizations to see if they do offer that, and they do. I know Centerville Clinic was talked about, so I think with this, the creation of this committee, we could really do some of that work.
Thank you, Dr. Mahalik. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Dr. Bob. Transportation, Mr. Bashir.
Yes, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Wellington for his transportation since the beginning, even before the beginning of the year. I know you're going another direction, but I want to thank you for your work, you and Mrs. Nicholson, for making a lot of drivers happy. And maybe the parents not so happy, but it's working for our kids right now.
Yeah, for their safety.
For their safety, and I want to thank you guys for putting that time in. The other thing is to approve Malacca's driver's list. I didn't get to look at that list, so Dr. Martin, you will have to be the authoritative figure on okaying the names. So, and the other thing, I know this is athletic, but Rondell Rose's daughter is playing soccer tomorrow night at Pitt. Congratulations, that's a big accomplishment, and I wish her well.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody come on, take a look. It should be at 7 o'clock down at Ambrose Urbanic Field.
She's done our district well. So, the other thing is, a good thing, for all the kids who are going to the game Friday night, your parents better be with you. Because you're going to go right back in the car. I'm going to make that clear. There's only a little bit of people here tonight, but if you know anybody taking their kid to the game, make sure the parent goes with them, or a guardian, because they're going to be put in a little corner, and we're going to call mom and dad, you come get them. Sorry to be a little harsh, but that's the way it's going to be. And that's all I have. You want to approve the driver's list.
So you making the motion?
I'm making that motion, Mr. President.
Second.
I got a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brashear. Athletics, Mr. Clark.
All right, item A, the motion to hire Larry Cash as the middle school boys basketball coach for the 24-25 school year with the compensation set at $2,709.
Have that motion, second. Questions?
Yeah, I'd like to make
Yes.
a comment. Larry's been around for a long time, doing a lot of work with our kids. Yeah, I for one really appreciate this, and I will definitely be voting yes.
They got a
Roll call,
statute. They're
please.
making a statute for you.
Mr. Bashir?
Well, sorry. Wait. Yes. That's Mrs. Zupik's fault because she.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Item B, motion to approve the athletic handbook for the 24-25 school year.
Second.
I have that motion and second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Item C, a motion to approve the pay rate for the athletic trainer substitute in the amount of $50 per hour.
Second.
Have that motion and a second. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
Line D, a motion to hire Brian Ladowski as the assistant middle school wrestling coach for the 24-25 school year with compensation set at $2,960.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Questions?
I don't have any questions. I do have a quick comment, and I apologize for not bringing this up in executive session, but it got lost in the 843 million things we had to go over. But I have nothing against Brian Lewandowski. He's a great guy. You know, I coached his daughter. He's one of the greatest kids you'll ever meet in your life. But I'm a little confused still as to why we're doing this just for wrestling and not the other sports. And it makes me feel very badly for a lot of really hardworking people out there who were assistant coaches for all the other middle school sports who aren't getting paid. So I'm not quite sure why we're doing this, just one sport, but I just want to put that out.
Yeah, and
Can
I
you
wasn't
explain?
here on Monday. Can somebody explain?
Yeah, I think there was something where this was already set where,
It's a
before-
technicality.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
technicality.
technicality.
Yeah, this has been set in just for this actual, just for wrestling.
Right, because they went through and they
Yeah.
removed the wording from the, I think the handbook.
Yeah.
And at the time, we didn't have a wrestling team, so it was never removed for wrestling. So we're acting on a technicality and we're paying one sport and not all the other ones.
And that's
I
how.
hope we're setting the right precedent.
Mr.
And-
I had a follow-up to that. Was this, or did we vote on this already, that they were supposed to assist with the
Yeah.
women's?
These on this will be assisted because you did
Not
add,
the handbook.
you did add,
I'm sorry, the contract, not the handbook.
yeah, you did add the girls wrestling program. So so this is where you couldn't go on as a volunteer or paid assistant at the high school. So this was that technicality was used for this,
Okay.
so that he could coach the girls.
You understand that one better than,
What's that?
do you hear what he said, what he's?
He couldn't be the volunteer or the assistant paid at a high school because they already have those, because we have a girls wrestling program now. So with this technicality, that's how he was able to be able to coach the girls and be paid for the girls.
Why
The
don't
run
we just say,
wrestling program. That's how it was used.
should we table this? Maybe?
It was table once. That's where this came. Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. I'm explaining this is what it was. That's why we're back at the voting of it. But that's the whole.
So why not just say birthday?
You can't say high school because the technicality was that's how it was set for junior high.
We never had a girls team.
You could put girls in there, but
The head girls wrestling, right?
Yeah, if you put girls in there, what happens if they don't get enough girls to,
that's why we put it as that's why it was put as assistant middle school.
yeah.
Yeah.
The PEA contract and the stipends that are set for coaches, that's for the BEA members. You can't pay us less than what is in the contract.
Okay.
If you're not a member of the BEA, the board has a right to do whatever they want, basically. It just, it's in your contract. So when it's according to the BEA contract, that's because the board is choosing to pay that person that amount. If it was a BEA member being hired, that they couldn't pay them less than what that amount is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good advice.
Yeah. So should we just vote on it?
Yeah.
Just vote on it. Yeah, you can vote, just vote.
But,
I think that was the point, right, that this was.
Make a
tabled.
motion to table this. Right, right. I agree. That's why I made the motion, Jeremy. Did you make it? Yes, I just did.
Second.
So, and there was, so, question, when does the season start?
They'll officially start probably around,
It's October?
Yeah.
I thought it was a winter sport.
Yeah, but it starts officially.
But no, the PLAA start date for a winter sport is it's Friday, November 16th.
so you have another,
Yeah.
so I have a motion and a second to table.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on that? We're gonna roll call for a table.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Sorry, what's the,
I'm
So
sorry,
motion
to
to
table.
table this.
the motion to table it?
Yeah.
No.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
What are we, was this the motion to hire him or is this a motion to table? I couldn't- No, it's hiring. I mean, I get the semantics. I don't understand why we're doing it, but listen, I'd like to get the guy hired, but I understand. I'm gonna vote no to table.
Well, part of the reason, also Ross here is because we're sitting up here saying, well, the motion should read this way, that way, whatever. This is how it was presented.
I know we're
on the
hiring,
agenda.
technically, he's gonna be the girls' head coach, and that's
So
not a
we can't
BEA position, and we gotta.
change wording.
I track all that, I just.
We're in the
think
middle
we should just-
of, roll call here, guys.
Mr. Gates?
No,
Dr. Mahalik?
No.
Mrs. Zupac?
And I'm reversing my vote to a no. So it fails. So, that's fair. Okay, so, and we have a motion and a second for the original motion, correct?
Yes.
Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes.
Mr. Gates?
yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
I just, real quick comment on this, I have have no issue next month if we want to have a motion where we move him to the high school varsity position, girls varsity position. And, you know, we can do that. I want to get I think we should have gotten the hire, so appreciate that. Oh,
All right. Line E, a motion to approve, the quote for Huddle at the cost of $2,699. General fund.
second.
Motion and a second, questions? Yeah.
I got it.
Does everybody get that? Does the
That's what.
basketball, girls basketball, boys basketball, everyone gets that?
Even though I did purchase an iPad with my own money.
That's right, that's right.
Yes, yeah, we did, yes.
Okay, you won't have to pay for it for this
We
year.
didn't get an iPad. Boys basketball got the iPad. We didn't get one, but yes, everybody gets Hub.
And
What,
football.
now what about softball? Is softball?
No, that will have to be à la carte. So
Yeah, can we-
next month, if we wanted to add softball, or Ms. Columbia said about adding the Huddle Assist,
Yeah.
which
Huddle.
encompasses,
Huddle assist?
and I'll have that ready for you to decide which way you want it to go, that we could add those other sports.
And, line F reads as a motion to terminate the head high school football coach effective immediately.
Did we vote? We didn't vote on it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bashir?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Delarose?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Gammon?
Yes, I think it was me, I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear Mr. Dorsey because I usually follow him.
Mr. Gates?
Yes.
Dr. Mahalik?
Yes.
Mrs. Zupac?
You good? All right. F, a motion to terminate the head high school football coach effective immediately.
Have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This time,
One
Go ahead.
comment, Mr. President, and this is for Mr. Clark.
Yeah.
Heard today that just recently, the PIAA, passed that they are going to start a new sport, and it would be girls flag football. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
And that may be something, I don't know, if it gets into our area schools, we might want to look at,
Yeah,
help the girls out,
yeah.
some of our athletes.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
this time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?